Hey everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Starshadow Learns to Play series. Today I'm bringing you the second part of my continuing adventure in the game Frostpunk. In the first episode, I came to grips with the controls and basic gameplay of Frostpunk while simultaneously pissing off all the citizens under my control. Well, at least the ones that happened to survive the first day. After losing all hope as I stumbled by providing the basic necessities, such as heat, they threatened to overthrow and kill me, but also gave me a few days to try and turn it around. In the end, it seems all they wanted was a cemetery to give them a little hope. Suckers. So we begin day 3, where I will now try to feed my people while trying not to kill too many. In this case, this video will be a little bit different, as I made a rookie mistake while recording this video, in that I forgot to unmute my microphone as I was playing. So this entire episode featured me talking and not recording. So now I'm doing some post-production and adding some commentary. So it's going to be a little bit fun trying to figure out exactly what I was doing when I was playing this, as I discovered this when I listened back to it later. What we were doing here is we were looking around, because I was trying to figure out exactly what I had been up to previously. I had forgotten a little bit of what was going on, so I had checked over to make sure my cookhouse was working, and here is where I figured out that the gathering post that I built, I believe first in the first episode, is useless because it was not placed in a very good position, and I hadn't realized what it did. And so now I'm testing it out by adding a couple workers and finding out that there are no resources in range of the gathering post. So I will be deleting that gathering post and getting back a little bit of resources that I desperately need to continue to survive. Luckily we didn't lose too much out of it, but still, a little bit of a setback. And so while it's going on, I just might as well just say that this is all a very new experience to me. So it's been a learning experience trying to figure out how to play and at the same time talk, which is not one of my strong suits. And I'm also now learning a new skill of video editing and learning how to do post-production. And as you can see, it's not going super great, but you live, you learn, and still learning, so gotta make some mistakes. Alright, back into the game. I'm trying to figure out how to do a road so I can add some tents and other kinds of buildings in the second row behind the generator. You have to connect your streets to the generator in order to be able to build behind it. So I started work on a hunter's hut, as we are looking at a little bit of a food shortage if we don't start bringing in some raw food. The cookhouse is working on turning the raw food into rations, so we're not in desperate need yet, but you never, it'd be pretty quick if we start to run out of food. People will hate me even more than what they already do. So I figure probably a good idea to take care of that. And as you can see, in one of the objectives is to secure food. So looking at some of the tutorial summary here, just seeing that the hunters work overnight and not during the day, so it's a little bit different. There's a couple of food buildings, hothouse and cookhouse are, I guess, later tech buildings that I can't build yet. But there'll be some more tech buildings coming up in a little bit. So apparently one person is starving right now for some reason, even though we have rations and raw food. I don't know why. So I'm gonna kick up the speed a little bit because it it runs pretty slow on the regular speed. So there's a child with a plea, and as you can see, he's hoping to, bring his mama back to life, I guess, pretty much. And I think if I had picked a different law, there might have been an option there for us to dig up the mother and do some radical treatment. Maybe a little bit of abomination, but it's the apocalypse. We will do whatever we can. Here we go. We're looking at the laws now, and at their cemetery you can see their ceremony of funerals, which we don't need to get into yet. As you can see, that's the tooltip for it. It's a little early for that right now. I think we're okay. I mean, we're not, discontentment is not too high, even though hope is very low. They're not yelling at me about it again. So with us starting a good job of at least, beginning to create a colony, there seems to be other people left out in the cold, and we want to bring them into the fold. Always got to have more workers, even though it's more mouths to feed. But in order to do that, we have to build a couple more buildings. Not quite there yet. Do some adjusting to get more people into the hunter's hut to be hunters, as 3 hunters is not going to get the job done. And we're doing very well in coal now, so it's not as important. Here you can see, I was trying to put some tents behind those tents there. I couldn't do it because there's no street back there, so I'm finding it a little fiddly of trying to build a street behind there. So it looks like I set it up, but we'll see if it actually holds. Some more worker adjustments. You can see the temperature. I was worried about it not having enough of the temperature to be usable. As in the toolbox, it says needed the base heating level of 2. Apparently it's fine, so that's good. I was really worried about that. The wood crates, didn't notice this at first, they were depleted right now, so we're out of wood in that area. We're going to find another spot to find some more wood. This is why I all of a sudden have available workers, which I didn't realize. So I'm going to bump it up this bit here, put some of those lazy asses back to work. Hope is going down a little bit still, but we still got some crates out there that we can get to if we need more wood. Seems to be a very important building resource right now. Let's see. So we look around a little bit, see a couple buildings here. Just checking out the base heating levels. But not much I can do about that right now. So do know we're going to need to build a sawmill fairly quickly with all the down branches. That's going to be our source of wood after the next set of crates is gone. Temperature is looking pretty good right now, but as you can see in the top there, there's a icon in the day 4 there that's blinking and showing that there's going to be a cooling spell coming, which is going to be very fun as it affects the amount of heating coming out of the generator. Right now it is -4 degrees Fahrenheit, and with the cooling spell coming, we will definitely be feeling it, and it will force us to try some techniques to try and get our people through the day. So as you can see with the hunters hut here, so we have 7 hunters bringing in 7 food, which is not bad, but probably gonna need a little bit more as I drop another worker into the cookhouse to try and turn that raw food into rations that people can actually eat. Checking out the coal pile, not doing too bad there. Not doing too bad there, bringing it in pretty good. And as you can see now, we just hit the cold spell, and it is dropping down to -40 Fahrenheit. And it's really cooled off everything. Nothing is warm except the generator. So now we're probably gonna have to take some drastic measures. Looking at steam level 2, double the coal, stronger heating might be worth something. Considering it, but it turns out that there's another option that the game mentions to me in a little bit, and we'll talk about that when I get there. Right here we go, generator overdrive. You can see here that there, after this cooling spell, there will be a warm spell, so it's something to keep in mind as we're going ahead, that if we need to use a little extra coal, we can do it, and hopefully that heating spell will mean that we don't need to really rely on all that coal. And I was saying that the street I was trying to build is behind the other tents is not showing up, so I'm gonna try again. And it says it's supposed to be working, but I'm not seeing anything. In the meantime, we wait for some people to build that. We can see there's a couple people working over there. I think that's what they're doing. Yep, they are building some streets there, so doing something. In the meantime, we'll drop some tents back here. Might as well at least build a little bit of something for people. I think your tents are a good thing to keep a little bit further away, since they don't need to be as warm, because they seem to do an okay job of holding in heat when they have it. So this is the day-night cycle. It's actually a shift time switch that I haven't utilized yet to make them work a little bit longer, although I think that might actually be a law I have to look at. Now we're looking at some of the explaining about the workforce, that some of the buildings need specialized people, so the engineers, to work in them, and not just regular workers, which I figured out already. So that's more on the temperature, explaining the weather changes. And here, looking at it, if you click that, we can do some overdrive in order to bump up the heating for a little bit. The downside of this is that we have to worry about stressing out the generator, and if it gets stressed out too far, it will blow up, and that's pretty much game over. So you can see it slowly, the stress slowly goes up as it goes. The steel wreckage that we were working on is depleted. So we're gonna have to do some adjustments here. But steel is doing pretty good on steel right now, so I'm not too worried about it. So this is gotta be our next project, is working on a workshop in order to start teching up. This is one of the things we need to build in order to build the things to look for, the people, the beacons. Once we have those, we can start trying to locate some more people from the convoy. So you can see the price: 15 wood, 5 steel, no problem. Be able to build that one already. So far, the overdrive's not doing too bad. Oh, we have someone getting some frostbite, so here I'm trying to figure out exactly what to do. I don't want to pick a choice because I want to look at things first. So go looking in and seeing what medical track to take here. The radical treatment, which will get more people working, but there'll be some consequences, some amputees and such, which, whatever. And sustained life, which is the gravely ill, will not always be treated, but they will be treated, but they won't be able to work. And I think that this is more of a hope thing, but I think I'm gonna have to go with the radical treatment just to keep people working. And if stuff happens. It's a dangerous world out there. We need to work hard here. I mean, not an easy decision, of course, but no, at the time I was really struggling with what to think here. But in the end, gotta go with the radical treatment. Might be the wrong choice, but we'll live with the consequences. Not like I'm expecting to actually win this round. So now just look at the illness and healthcare tutorial summary again. You can see the care house that the one law was talking about. And the infirmary for quarantines and such, but we can't build any of that yet anyway, so it's not worried too much. So here I'm figuring out that, you know, I have a street built, but it wants the street to be connected to the generator into that very inner circle, and so I'm trying to get it to connect. I don't know why I had such success the first time, but this second street that I'm trying to build is not cooperating. So we're just kind of considering what's going on. You can see I could drop a second engineer in there to hopefully help cure a few more people. Because we have 5 people being treated right now. I'm not sure how much it matters to have 1 or 2 people in there, but got a couple of lazy ass engineers need to work. Street's still not working for me, but I can drop that there. workshop there. Because it's perfect fits, so. That was serendipitous, because so far the building plans have not always been the best. So there's another child saying something. Oh, no, it's just a regular person saying there's more sick beds needed, and people are yelling at me. They are very mad. And so, an agonizing choice. What to do. Because I only get 3 days to do something. And that's not a very lot of time, as you can see. So, decided I could get them another medical post. Shut the people up for a little bit. It really put you in some tough situations with this, with the cold spell. Really forcing some tough things. Some tough decisions, should I say. Alright, so a medical facility close to the other one, really. So it's gonna be built a bit. Checking on the overdrive, how it's doing, stressing. Up to 30%. Do know the worry at this point was if the stress on the generator would dissipate after turning off the overdrive, or whether it would hold on to it. And so I wasn't sure at this point. It wasn't quite explained yet, so I had really had to think about whether I wanted to keep that overdrive going or not. Oh, I kind of drop an engineer in there in order to get people to actually be healed. Apparently the engineers in this game are magic and can do any kind of special jobs that need to be done, specialized jobs, whether chef, doctor, architect. So, gonna have to pull some people off of cold air and stuff them in as hunters, because as you can see, we are down to 6 raw food. That is not enough. Luckily, we have enough rations, I think, to work out. But we need to start bringing in some raw food to turn it into edible food. Nighttime, up to speed some more. We turn off the overdrive, and we can see that the stress level does go down, luckily. So we can pump it up again as people wake up. Probably would be a better idea to leave it on at night and off during the day, but experimentation doesn't always equal good thinking. And as I explained, it's been very difficult to both play and try and talk at the same time. I really don't know how some people do it. They make it look so easy. Even just rewatching this and talking over it is very difficult. It's the street still not working, but there is a cross street that I pulled out originally, so I could build something next to it. But I'm gonna try building some more street and see if that works. Turn off the overdrive here during the day. With the warm spell coming up, I'm hoping to save a little bit of that coal. Save a little bit of stress off the generator. And see how it goes and see what this heating spell will actually do. So it looks like there's a group of people coming. Let's never really actually explain where they came from. But all of a sudden I see these people showing up. And it's nice. Could always use more workers. I'm sure they'll be very depressed when they see how poorly run this colony is, as the discontentment is starting to rise pretty rapidly. So with the workshop up, take a look at the technology tree. See some technologies to increase generator productivity, efficiency. There's a nice technology for a heater to be put out further out to help generate heat. There's the beacon that we need in order to look for the people from our convoy. There's some resource efficiency technologies as well. I know the coal one will be one that is probably sneaky important at this point. And there's a food one, which I think at this point might be the one we need to focus on first. It's not very expensive. As much as I want to improve the generator, I'm gonna start up on this food situation. So coal pile is depleted, but no big deal yet. We have a few piles such as this one over here. Dump all those people over here. Wood crates, definitely gonna need those with all the building we're doing. And someone who really wants us to go out there and bring home some people from the convoy. So definitely on my mind that we should definitely go out there and do that, but we're not quite there. So this is the next big crisis. Lack of homes. This is why I was trying to build some streets before. I wanted to build some tents, but people are now really pissed. They want to live somewhere, especially after this cold spell. Fortunately, they are dealing with the incompetent overseer, so I feel like a bad politician trying to promise everything, even though who knows if I can actually do it. Maybe over-promising, maybe overextending a little bit, but it's, worth a shot. See what we can do. So let's try building another street. Let's see if we can get any of this to work, because we definitely need more room in order to add some tents. And we do add some room around the inside there that kind of hoping to save for maybe something more important than tents, but Still building streets. Just got one engineer in the workshop. This would be a good place. Should be it. Probably should throw some more in there. But I have some extras. And what's really sad right now is that I'm just realizing, as I'm recording this voiceover, that there's no music. We're not gonna have any music in this video at all. It's just gonna be me talking randomly throughout. So I can't imagine that this is gonna be super entertaining. But you know, you said you live, you learn. Hopefully next time I will remember to actually unmute my microphone when starting. But I don't know, maybe this actually went better. It's hard for me to say right now, but maybe I'll get some feedback and people can tell me what they think actually went better. Either way, I gotta practice, so it's the only way to get better at any of this. So we are set for this episode. Thank you all for joining me today, and hope to see you next time.